GLAAD CEO Sarah Ellis pushes narrative that transgenders are underrepresented in Hollywood, claims political pundits are to blame for spreading misinformation about the trans community. This story comes to us from Josh Berger over at Bounding Into Comics. Sarah Kate Ellis, president of the LGBTQ watchdog group GLAAD, has called on Hollywood to create and write more about the transgender community, claiming that it is political pundits who give the transgender individuals in America a bad reputation. In a recent interview with Variety, Ellis referred to what she perceives as the transgenders being underrepresented in Hollywood, noting, quote, "We have seen those watershed moments for lesbian, gay, and bisexual representation, whether it was Ellen DeGeneres coming out or Will and Grace. What we don't have yet is a watershed moment for the trans community. I see this opportunity as a chance to speak to the Academy and all the creators in the room to say that we need that moment." No, we don't. Ellis encouraged, "We need you to create and write about trans people because there are over 500 anti-LGBTQ bills proposed this past year that are against trans people and our trans youth." Before she went on to baselessly claim political pundits are spreading misinformation about the transgender community. Quote, "But what's taking up that space in media right now are political pundits who are talking about trans people with misinformation and in negative ways. We need Hollywood to be the antidote to that." During her acceptance speech at the Television Governors Award on Monday night, Ellis doubled down on her stance, admitting the woke advocacy organization's goal is to influence audiences by including more LGBTQ characters in movies and television. What the world sees on TV directly influences how we treat each other and the decisions we make in our living rooms, schools, at work, and at the ballot box. I want you to listen to that last one there. Let's just review that one. What the world sees on TV directly influences how we treat each other and the decisions we make in our living rooms, schools, at work, and at the ballot box. Maybe this is the problem, that we're trying to put political agenda into this stuff instead of just writing good characters, relatable characters, characters that represent the amount of people that are in America experiencing this, right? That would make sense. The world urgently needs culture-changing stories about transgender people, Ellis asserted. It's good for them, right? The GLAAD CEO further claimed, because more Americans say they have seen a ghost than know a trans person. When you don't know people, it's easy to demonize them, right? So get to know a ghost. They're people too, right? Ghost rights now. Hashtag ghost rights now. All right? Visibility creates understanding and opens doors. It's life-saving, unless you're a ghost, because you're already, you're ghost. It's not going to do much for you if people notice you. You might laugh because there's all like, "Oh, it's a ghost." I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun with this stupid reference she tried to make into a thing. Quote, "Our community has achieved so much, and yet we are still being villainized with cruel and harmful lies." She's talking about the LGBTs, not ghosts, by the way. I'm sorry, it's just a 2022 study from the UCLA School of Law's Williams Institute, which according to their website, quote, "conducts independent research on sexual orientation and gender identity law and public policy," concluded that less than 1% of the population in the United States identify as transgender. Remember transgender Barbie? What a victory for women, right? Yeah. She was a doctor too. That's kind of funny, right? Remember Ken goes into the real world and says, "Hey, I talked to a male doctor." There was already one in Barbie world. Anyway, going on with this nonsense. Quote, "Over 1.6 million adults ages 18 and older and youth ages 13 to 17 identify as transgender in the United States, or 0.6% of those ages 13 and older," the study notes, further elaborating, quote, "Among U.S. adults, 0.5%, about 1.3 million adults identify as transgender. Among youth ages 13 to 17, 1.4%, around 300,000 youth, identify as transgender. Taking this information into account, the number of transgender individuals in film and television should amount to less than 1% for Hollywood productions to accurately represent the trans community. Statistics GLAAD would likely dismiss regardless of their empirical evidence. Ellis claimed that political pundits are villainizing transgenders by spreading cruel and harmful lies, yet failing to provide any evidence backing up her unfounded claims. To this end, GLAAD has a history of turning a blind eye to the truths that could potentially end up harming the narrative they potentially try to push. They perpetually try to push. It's forever. They're never going to stop. Potentially, perpetually. You'll have to forgive me. I'm just blown away by this. Look at this. There's like 300,000 kids in America, the kids 13 to 17, that have fallen into this mess. This is horrible, and they want to continue pushing it so they can influence voting? This is ridiculous. Let us know how you feel about this crap down in the comments below. Feel free to hit like and subscribe to find out if these guys get any traction. You rest assured that we'll be reporting on it over here at Bounding Into Comics. It's ridiculous.